Good evening. I am Raylan Granger, and I will be presenting the Special Topics of Crime, Psychology in the Legal System, created by myself and my group members, Autumn and Lanaya. So a little introduction. A legal system is basically a structured system for enforcing laws and delivering justice. It defines the rights and obligations as well as used to resolve disputes. In the United States, we use an adversarial system where two opposing parties present cases before a judge or jury. These two opposing parties will generally be the defendant and the prosecution. So why does psychology matter in the legal system? It's crucial to the legal system because it bridges the gap between evidence and human behavior. It ensures fair trials and more accurate, evidence-based legal decisions. It informs areas like competency evaluations, witness credibility, jury selection, and perpetrator profiling, which prevent injustices caused by misunderstanding human behavior. So a little overview of the trial process. So whenever it is decided that a case will be taken to trial, the first thing that is done is the selection of a jury. The jury is selected by random. They try to find United States citizens that will be unbiased to the case. Next, it will be opening statements from both sides, the defendant and the defense attorney and the prosecutor. Then they will go on to presenting the evidence that's been given on each side, and then they will do witness testimony. Each side could bring their own witnesses, but they could do cross-examination. So if the prosecution brings a witness, while it is their witness, the defense has the right to do a cross-examination on their witness. Next, it would be the verdict, and then finally, sentencing. The key players in this trial process include the judge, the jury, the defense attorney, and the prosecutor. So the first psychological topic is eyewitness testimony. It's an account given by a person in a court of law to law enforcement detailing what they saw, heard, or experienced during a crime or incident. These can be unreliable because memory is not perfect. Key factors that affect accuracy are stress, weapon-focused effect, leading questions, real-world impact, and wrongful convictions. The next psychological topics will be discussed by my fellow group member.
Psychological topic number 2, detecting deception. Detecting deception is often used in police interviews, investigations, and court cases to figure out if someone is lying during investigations. Although people might believe that they can easily spot a liar by facial expressions or body language, psychology proves that it is not typically accurate. Sometimes people will rely on body language, but it's not always reliable either, which is why detecting deception is important. Psychological topic number 3, criminal profiling. Criminal profiling is one Psychological topic number 4, bias in decision making. Bias is when decisions are influenced by personal beliefs instead of facts, and it sometimes happens without people even realizing it. There are 3 types of biases in the legal system, which are confirmation bias, racial bias, and stereotyping. Confirmation bias is basically when people already have an opinion and they only pay attention to the stuff that they think is right, and they ignore everything that proves them wrong. Racial bias is when someone is treated or judged differently just because of their race instead of facts. Stereotyping is when people assume things about someone based on a group, like race or age, and they don't see them as their own person. These biases can affect how people interpret evidence.
Real-world case example, the Central Park Five. This was a 1989 assault case that took place in New York City. This case involved 5 teenage boys who were wrongfully convicted of a violent crime by the names of Antron McCray, who was 15, Kevin Richardson, who was 14, Yusuf Salam, who was 15, Raymond Santana, 14, and Corey Rise, who was 16 at the time. There was no strong physical evidence, but the case relied heavily on confessions that were later proven to be false. Psychology in the case. Psychology definitely played a major role here. The boys gave false confessions after intense questioning. Their memory was unreliable at this time, affected how people viewed the case. This case connects directly to everything we have discussed. There was no solid eyewitness evidence. Deception was misjudged. Profiling definitely played a huge role, and bias influenced both the investigation and the trial outcome. In this slide, we're going to talk about the outcome and the impact. Years later, DNA evidence proved that the boys were innocent. This case exposed major flaws in the legal system and showed how powerful psychological factors can be used in shaping justice. And this case was very important because it shows how easily things can go wrong when psychology is misunderstood and misused in the legal system. Their convictions were overturned in 2022. In conclusion, psychology plays a huge role in our legal system by helping us understand why people act the way they do during a trial, in the courtroom, psychological research, witness testimony, memories of the crime, and beyond just memory, psychology helps lawyers understand how jurors make decisions and how their personal biases might affect the verdict. By using science today, we'll study these trial processes, and we can make the justice system more fair and make sure that the decisions are based on facts rather than mistakes in human thinking. And these are our references. Thank you.